Well, of course, the Matildas' golden run at the World Cup came to an end last night when they were defeated 3-1 by the English in the semi-final. Regardless of their loss, the Matildas did an outstanding job. No Australian soccer team, men's or women's, until now, has ever made a semi-final of a World Cup. So they've done the country proud. Now, Liz, because we are soccer aficionados, we were going to,
Hugely. Ask me anything.
Yeah, dissect the tactics from the game last night. But we thought rather than do that, we might just look at some of the reactions to Australia's loss. I want to start with Piers Morgan, our Sky News colleague. He tweeted this in response to England beating the Matildas. He said, breaking, England's fabulous Lionesses crush Australia's wilting Matildas, that's not very kind, 3-1 in their own backyard to reach the Women's World Cup final. And then he says, sweet revenge for the Johnny Bairstow Ashes run-out debacle. Congrats, ladies, you've made your country proud. In other words, Piers Morgan is still sooking over the Ashes series. He's less excited about the English women reaching a World Cup final than he is smarting over the fact the English men didn't manage to win the Ashes. Well, the English women don't yet have their hands on the World Cup trophy, but here's a little something for Piers Morgan, who I know will be watching because he loves the late debate. That's the Australian cricket captain with his hands very much on the urn, the Ashes. And Caleb, I know what Piers Morgan will say, right? He's going to say, oh, you only retained the Ashes because of the English weather. Exactly. So even if the English girls do win the World Cup, within 24 hours of that great victory, they'll be on a plane back to a country that is typically looking like this.
Oh,
so,
who's the real loser?
Exactly. No matter who wins the World Cup, Australia wins.
I'm going to declare, as Piers Morgan declared for the Poms when it came to the Ashes, Australia won the moral victory in this World Cup, whatever the hell that is. But, of course, Daniel Andrews wanted to get in on the act as well and trumpet the great work of the Matildas. He tweeted, because of the Matildas, there will be countless young girls who now know they can grow up and be sports stars. You've broken records and captured our hearts, but above all, you've made dreams possible. And when you take on Sweden, we'll all be cheering you on. So lovely and warm from the great cold man that is Daniel Andrews. But people were very quick to point out when he tweeted that there's a few missed opportunities here that you could have given to these women, Mr. Andrews. One bloke, Scott M., he tweeted, imagine all the athletes inspired by the Commonwealth Games. Oh, hang on. And then there was another bloke, Greg Dawkins, he's up on the screen there now. Imagine if those young girls had events, like the Commonwealth Games, to play their sport in front of a home crowd and showcase their great talents to inspire future generations, much like Cathy Freeman did for these amazing Matildas. Such a great supporter of sport is Mr. Daniel Andrews that he just scraps entire events where women can prosper.
Well, you know, the other person he scrapped is the great Margaret Court. We've got to give her a shout out because Dan Andrews says, the Matildas have made it possible for girls to dream about sporting events, which is true. But in the 60s and 70s, it was Margaret Court, who's the greatest Grand Slam winner of all time. Margaret Court, who Daniel Andrews refers to as that woman.
Yes.
Well, she is a wonderful sports person.
Oh, they're still trying to change the name of the arena and everything.
I know,
Absolutely dreadful.
And he's forgotten about Ash Barty. I mean, it was only 2 years ago she won Wimbledon. It's not like we've never had female role models for girls who want to go to sport before.
But it wasn't just Andrews copping heat for his well-meaning congratulatory post. One of soccer's all-time greats, David Beckham himself, copped a lot of heat for referring to the girls as girls. Here he is with a well-meaning shout out to his fellow English soccer players.
Hey girls, I just wanted to say, wow, what a tournament it's been so far. It's been so much fun to watch, and we're all so proud as a nation what you've achieved already, but seeing you girls play as a team, it's been really incredible.
What was he supposed to say? Hi, women. He would have copped it for that as well. I'm surprised that Andrews didn't get it for talking about, oh no, it was Pierce. Ladies, Whatever. They've been referred to as so many things, like our ladies,
They could be
our
non-binary
girls,
for all
our
we
golden
know.
girls, etc. and so on. This has been happening across social media.
What was Beckham expected to do? I mean, if he'd said, well done, women, no one would have known what he was talking about.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is.
No, he had to specify.
No, he should have said, well done, uterus havers, or something like that. But interestingly enough, though, before we came on air, I was watching Sky News UK, and they were crossing to a woman, I'm not going to call her a girl, in Sydney, who's over here for the World Cup, and she runs one of the biggest news websites for women's soccer in the world. What do you reckon the name of the website is? I'll give you a guess, Mac.
Girls just want to have fun.
It's called Girls on the Ball, right? It is literally one of the biggest news websites for women's soccer in the world. It's called Girls on the Ball. I mean,
if your wife's going...
never the girls themselves who are like, we are so offended. It's always just some losers on social media getting their knickers in a knot about something that the girls themselves are completely
if
fine
you're going
with.
out with a bunch of friends, you're not going out for a women's night, you're going out for a
it's a
girls'
girls' night.
Right? We all know
100%,
that.
it's a girls' night.